So I've done some pretty stupid shit throughout my childhood and throughout my, school career growing up and whatnot. And I've talked about many of those stupid things on my channel before, but I haven't talked about this one before. And I don't know why, but I think it's time. So I hope you enjoy it. Leave a like on the video if you do, and let's jump into it. So today's story time all takes place when I was in ninth grade, freshman year. I was going to a new school, and I don't really talk about this era of my school career that much because it was so short-lived. But I went to this new school for high school. It was a public school. It was just like a pretty bad school, to be honest. I can't lie. It was definitely like notoriously known for being like just full of kids that do stupid shit and bad things. And it was just kind of a quote unquote like bad kid school, if that makes sense. And yeah, I didn't really care. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep my head down and do my thing and hopefully pass my classes. Obviously, that didn't work out because I'm here now without a high school diploma, but, whatever, that's besides the point. But anyway, yeah, I started this new school, and it was cool. It wasn't that bad. The first, month, really nothing out of the ordinary. But on the second month, everything kind of went to shit very quickly. I'm going to tell you how, okay? So, I met this kid when I was at this school, all right? We'll just call him Tyler, okay? I met Tyler at this school the first week I went there. And Tyler was kind of like me, just like a very shy kid. But when you actually got to know him, he was pretty cool. I'm not saying that I'm pretty cool. I don't know. I could be a nerd for all I know. But you know what I mean? Like, Tyler just seemed cool. And I really liked Tyler, and we got along. And he quickly became one of my best friends at that school. And I also noticed something about Tyler that was like myself. Tyler didn't always use his brain first. And what I mean by that is sometimes he would just do things because they were funny or like, a quick rush without actually thinking of the consequences, kind of like what I used to be like in high school. And one day, on the second month of being at this school, Tyler walked into school, came up to my locker, I'm getting my books out and stuff, and he's like, yo, dude, you're never going to guess what I bought last night, and I brought them to school. And I'm like, what? He's like, check this shit out, dude. And Tyler proceeds to open up his backpack, and he has, no joke, an entire bag of live crickets. Like, just a bunch of crickets, probably like 200 of them bitches in a little plastic bag, just all alive, all making noise. You can hear them through the bag making their cricket sounds. And I'm like, bro, why the fuck do you have 200 crickets in your book bag right now in school? He's like, bro, I was getting food last night for my reptiles, and I thought it'd be hilarious if I just got some extra ones to bring to school and like prank the teachers with or something. And I was like, what do you mean prank the teachers with them? How would you prank a teacher with a bunch of, like, crickets? What are you gonna do, let them go in school? And then right after I said that, he got the biggest smile on his face. And I'm like, Tyler, are you gonna let those go in school? He's like, maybe. I'm like, what? Are you serious? He's like, yeah, man, I'm gonna go in the bathroom and just let them all go in the bathroom. And then they'll make their way out to the hallway and just scare the shit out of everybody. Now, the logical part of me was like, okay, tell Tyler that this is a bad idea because this is a terrible idea. But then, the funny part of me was like, dude, that would be fucking hilarious. So I kind of did a little bit of both. I was like, Tyler, that is the worst idea I've ever heard in my life, but it sounds fucking funny. And he's like, oh, no, dude, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm like, okay, just please don't tell them I had something to do with it, okay? He's like, yeah, I won't. Don't worry. So fast forward 2 periods later, I'm in my English class. I'm just, reading a book, not really doing a whole lot. Very tired, very sleepy, about to fall asleep. And as I'm drifting off a little bit, the front door opens to the classroom, and the security guard walks in and goes, Austin, I gotta steal you for a little bit. And I was like, oh, okay. So I got up and I followed him out of the room. And I can't lie, I was a little bit nervous because I didn't really know what I did. Because that's not a good feeling, I don't know if you've ever felt that, but when security comes in the classroom or, like your principal or something and they want to talk to you, you just wonder, like, am I in trouble? So I'm getting walked up to the principal's office with security. I ask him what I did wrong while I'm going up there. He says he doesn't know. He just said that, he was called to get me. So even the security had no idea what the problem was. And he gets me up to the principal's office, and he walks me in there. He sits me down, and the principal says thank you to the security guard. The security guard walks out of the room, and now it's just me and my principal sitting there. And my principal looks pissed. He looks so angry. And I was like, so, how you doing? And he's like, Austin, I'm not doing good. I'm sure you know why I'm not doing good. But, I'll give you the chance to admit it yourself. And I was like, sir, I have no idea what you're talking about. And I honestly didn't. I completely forgot at this point about the cricket thing. I literally had no idea. And he's like, well, a student went to use the bathroom today, and when he did, there was hundreds of crickets all over the bathroom floor and all over the hallway leading up to the bathroom. You care to tell me if you know anything about that, Austin? And immediately my eyes just like boldened, like just real like, oh fuck, like guilty eyes. And he goes, oh yeah, now you're remembering. Now you know why I'm mad. And I was like, sir, I had nothing to do with that. He goes, really? Because when we checked the cameras today, we saw you and Tyler talking at your locker, and we saw him show you the bag of crickets, and then a couple hours later, we see a bunch of crickets all over the school floor, so you really had nothing to do with that, huh? I was like, yes, Tyler told me about the crickets, but I even said it was a stupid idea, okay? And if he did it, to not involve me whatsoever. So, like, I promise you, I had nothing to do with it. And he goes, I don't believe you, Austin. I don't believe you one bit. I was like, sir, check the cameras. You can literally see on the cameras, it was probably only Tyler that went into the bathroom and did that, not me. He goes, oh yeah, we're gonna, trust me. I'm like, okay, good. So a couple minutes later, someone calls him out of the room for something. I think one of like the vice principals or security needed him or something. So my principal gets up and goes, stay right there, I'll be right back. And he walks out of the room, and I'm just sitting there in his room, just in his office, wondering what's going to happen to me, if I'm going to get suspended, expelled, if I'm not going to get in trouble at all because he'll see that it wasn't me that did it. I just didn't really know what the outcome was going to be. And my principal ends up being gone for like a few minutes. He's like still just not back in the room, and I'm just sitting there with nothing but my thoughts and paranoia. So as I'm sitting there, I start kind of getting more and more anxious, right? And I'm like, you know what? I need to get the fuck out of here. I don't feel good. Like, I don't even want to know what's about to happen to me. I just need to get the fuck out of here. So yeah, me not being very smart and not thinking clearly, I look over at his window, and I'm like, you know what? I'm getting the fuck out of here. So I walk over to his window, I pull the fire escape like lever thing, open the window up, and just crawl out the window and jump out and land on the grass. It was only like a couple feet drop because it was on the first floor, so nothing crazy. I landed on the grass of the field, and I got the fuck out of there. I just walked through the woods, and left school that day. I went across the street, got a burger, had lunch by myself, and then of course my mom called me. And she was like, why am I getting calls saying that you left school? They said you left the principal's office, you jumped out the window. I was like, yeah, I was getting blamed for something I didn't do, and I was really anxious about it, so I just left school. And she's like, you can't do that. You went from not getting in any trouble to getting in a lot of trouble. I was like, I know, it was stupid, but I just got too anxious. And she's like, yeah, I don't care, you can't do that. And I was like, I'm sorry, Mom. She's like, doesn't matter, you're grounded. So I got grounded for like a month. And yeah, later that night, I had to go home. All my electronics got taken away. And I got kicked out of that school. Literally, just they kicked me out, bro. Straight up expelled me instantly. I also kind of forgot to tell you about what happened to Tyler. I talked to Tyler a couple days later because I never really knew what happened to him. Come to find out, he got expelled as well. And his parents were so angry and embarrassed by him that they put him in private school. So like he had to wear a uniform and shit like that because he was so just in trouble. So they put him in a private school so he'd behave better. So yeah, that kind of sucked for him. But yeah, essentially what went from me being not in any trouble led to me getting into a lot of trouble because I just dipped out of school, which was really stupid. I probably could have just stayed in that room and my principal would have came back and been like, all right, we looked at the cameras, like, you know, you're innocent, just don't associate with him again or anyone like him. But no, I just decided to dip out of his window and just leave. And that got me in a lot of trouble. So yeah, I got expelled very quickly from that school. Probably one of my fastest expulsions ever. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this story time. Moral of the story is, don't be like me back then. And yeah, if you did enjoy this, please leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below. And subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all later. Peace.